Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your June 2020 horoscope for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I do recommend this for your rising sign, but for those of you who have Scorpio, Sun, or Moon, you may resonate with this as well. So, starting off here, entering into June, we have this Venus Cazimi that is happening on June 3rd. So, this is the inferior conjunction of Venus and the Sun meeting up, and this is a complete burnout of Venus. And so, this is a blackout. We're not going to be able to see Venus here, and it is a major moment of really burning out the things that are not of true value and worth in your life. And this is going to be a Venus Cazimi that is happening in your 8th house of Gemini. And so this is very deep for those of you who have Scorpio rising. This is happening in your deepest house where there is a lot of internal work to do, dealing with insecurities, dealing with fears, dealing with deep desires and passions. And so one of the biggest themes here with those of you with Scorpio rising is this strong desire for a deeper connection that is happening that many of you may have felt throughout this Venus retrograde, right? And this is something where I have Scorpio rising as well. And so this is something that I definitely am feeling here is this deeper desire for connection that is happening here. Now, there's a lot that's going on here, though, in terms of what are your attachments to fears that are keeping you from having these closer, more intimate, deeper experiences in terms of relationships and connections with others. And so there's a lot going on there. For some of you, this could also be dealing with your finances, the way that you are bringing in your wealth and income into your life, also connected to this 8th house, that there is a lot that needs to be removed and purged. And so ultimately, big theme here for those of you with Scorpio rising is transformation within yourself, right? Which is a very normal thing for those of us with this Scorpio rising, is going through this very intense, deep internal work to transform yourself, to release these attachments to fears that are preventing you from having these deeper connections with others. And so there's a lot here to burn out in terms of what it is that you are feeling deep down, facing these darker parts of yourself so that you can have these experiences that you are looking for. Now, moving on ahead, we have this full moon penumbral lunar eclipse in Sagittarius happening on June 5th. And so this is a major lunar eclipse that is happening in your 2nd house. And there's been a lot going on here with your axis of your 2nd house and 8th house that is really dealing with your attachments, that is dealing with your connections, that is dealing with your self-worth, your values, right? So there's a lot in terms of what are you connecting to at this moment? Are you connecting to the things that are material, your possessions, your personal values? Are you connecting to these deeper connections with others and to your internal feelings? Are you going through this deep internal world, or are you connecting to the physical? So there's been a lot here for those of you with Scorpio rising in terms of this balance between the physical and the spiritual or the emotional realm. So a lot that is going on here for those of you with Scorpio rising in terms of transforming so that you can feel this deeper, more intimate connection with others. And with this lunar eclipse happening here, the big thing that we have to keep in mind is that this is a 3-part eclipse that we are entering into. Remember that this lunar eclipse is clearing out the cycle that started with a new moon in Gemini. So not a solar eclipse in Gemini. This is actually an eclipse season starting off with the lunar eclipse in Sag. So this is a 3-part one. And so there's a lot of work here through June into July, through this major eclipse season of going through these intense changes and transformations within yourself in terms of your connections. Now, with this lunar eclipse in Sag, it is a major time to let go of these attachments to any sorts of habits, any possessions in your life that are keeping you from fully experiencing and integrating into this full, deep connection with others. And so, this is a moment where if we are using physical attachments to fulfill our deeper desires, that this is a major time to let go of this so that we can completely experience the deeper connections that we are looking for. And so, detaching from the physical and actually feeling deeply into our connections and into our internal world. Now, moving on ahead, on the 18th of June, we have this Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So, this is happening in your ninth house of philosophy, of wisdom, of spirituality, of higher knowledge, of exploration. And so, this is a major time here with this Mercury retrograde in your ninth house to think about what are the experiences that you want to have for yourself. And this is a big time where many of you are thinking about traveling, journeying, looking into learning new things, trying out new things in your life. And so there's a lot here in terms of thinking of new knowledge and new experiences that you want to take on during this Mercury retrograde. It's a big period to go internally and to plan out and think out what it is that you want to learn and experience in your world. And with the sun coming in here as well on the 20th, as we enter into this Cancer season, things shifting as we're moving into this new season, leaving behind this Gemini season of this fast-paced, impulsive, intellectual, curious, talkative energy, moving into more of this nurturing, feeling, connecting, emotional energy of Cancer, where this is a major spotlight on the things that those of you with Scorpio rising really care about, which is learning, gaining knowledge, gaining insight, right? There is this very investigative detective mode to Scorpio where there is this deep desire to learn, right? So this is a big time of putting a spotlight on your interests, on the things that you can learn, on the experiences that you can have to gain more knowledge, to gain more insight, to gain more wisdom in your life. And so really during this period of this eclipse season and of this Mercury retrograde that we're entering into, there's a lot here in terms of learning about yourself and gaining more wisdom and insight before you can really have this deeper connection that you are looking for. So becoming more intimate with yourself in order to gain this intimacy with others. Now, also on the 21st, we have this new moon that is happening here in Cancer as well. And so now we have the moon that is entering here. And this is a big new moon as this is a solar eclipse. So this is the second part of this eclipse season that is happening here in your ninth house, where this is a major moment of taking the risk to experience something new, right? So for those of you who are holding back from new experiences because you are trying to stay in what's familiar, especially for those of you with Scorpio rising, if you have these deeper connections and these attachments, as Scorpio tends to attach and latch on emotionally, that there is something big to say about this experience of entering into something that you've never had before. And for many of you, there is a lot going on in terms of relationships that are very much possible to open up in your life. But there is a big question of whether you are willing to fully enter into this and let go of these old attachments and experiences that you have already had and been in. And so this is a time of really taking that risk to enter into a new space. Now, on the 23rd, we have Neptune stationing retrograde, and Neptune has been here for a while now in your fifth house, where this has been a time of really being creative and innovative and coming up with new ideas, really speaking for some of you, seeking out more spirituality in your life, seeking out this higher realm of connection. So there's been a lot of this dreamy, creative, spiritual energy that has really been lighting up your fifth house of creativity. And so this is a big time here, especially for those of you with Scorpio rising, as this is your natural house, as Pisces actually rules Neptune, right? So this is your natural house. Many of you love the occult, you love spirituality, you love creativity, you love art, you love beauty, right? So this is a big time where Neptune has really been lighting up this house to allow you to have more insight, more innovative ideas and creative knowledge to bring into your life. It also has been a time of great confusion, though, in terms of relationships, in terms of romance, in terms of what your interests and hobbies are, what really brings you joy. And so, with Neptune in here coming into this retrograde, it really is a big time to ponder and think about what is it that you want to experience? What is the dream? What is the vision? What is the fantasy? What is the belief of what you really want to have? And again, a lot going on here in terms of relationships for many of you with this Scorpio rising. For those of you who are single, especially those who are looking to enter into a new relationship, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here in terms of figuring out what exactly it is that you want to experience. Now, moving ahead on the 25th, we have Venus finally stationing direct. So we've been going through this Venus retrograde that has been happening in your eighth house. And so this Venus retrograde really bringing up these deeper feelings of wanting to connect, wanting to relate, wanting to go deeper, to formulate these more intimate interactions, to really explore and learn more into the occult and into these deeper topics and subjects. And so really it has been a time of really addressing your deeper feelings. And for many of you, you may have felt very emotional. You may have felt very much yearning for this connection and really searching and looking for deeper answers during this Venus retrograde happening in your eighth house. Now, as this comes direct, this is a major moment of deciding what it is that you want on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on a deeper level, right? There's a lot here in terms of really being more vulnerable, being more open, and really having these deeper experiences that is really opening up for you here in your eighth house. And so this is a major time, Scorpio, for you to decide what is it that you want to experience, what is it that you want to create, what is it that you want to have on a deeper level. So a lot of transformation, a lot of inner work that is going on here for you, Scorpio. And especially with this North Node being in your eighth house, that this is destiny pulling you away from these physical attachments and these day-to-day routine activities, pulling you deeper into this area of connection and spirituality and really understanding yourself on a deeper level. Now, on the 27th, we have Mars entering into Aries. And remember that Mars is going to station retrograde in September. So this is a big time from now all the way into July to use up, into September to use up this Mars energy, right? So this is a very limited time period here that Mars is going to be stationed direct in Aries before it goes ahead and retrogrades. So with Mars being here in Aries in your sixth house, there is a lot of this activity in terms of what you can do, what you can build in your work life, in your profession, in your daily habits and routines. You have this energy and this passion to get done what you want to have done in your life. And again, I'm going to say that there is a lot going on here in terms of what it is that you want to experience in your physical reality, as the sixth house is also connected to your everyday physical reality in terms of love and connection and relationships, because we have this Uranus energy going on in your seventh house where you are looking to enter into a new, fresh experience. You're looking to change things up for those of you who are in a relationship, right? There's this very radical, different, new unconventional energy going on in your seventh house. And so this is a big time of really deciding what it is that you want to experience, what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to build, how you want to relate, how you want to connect on a deeper level. So a lot of options, a lot of choices, a lot of things that we can work on and create here in this experience as you're going deeper and working on yourself. First card I have here for you, Scorpio, is Capricorn. So this is a big time of working on your goals, right? Working on what you can accomplish, what you can achieve in this space. Because for many of you, you are looking to build and do a lot of new things. For some of you in terms of relationships, for some of you in terms of business. But there is a strong desire to go deeper and to build up more in your life. And so there's a question here of whether you're willing to do the work and to commit fully to having what it is that you want in your life. Second card here is solar eclipse. And so again, this solar eclipse is happening in your ninth house. Where are you willing to take the risk to experience a new opportunity, a new journey in your life, to learn, to experience, to grow? There's a lot of growth that is going on here for those of you with Scorpio rising. And again, for those of you with Scorpio sun or moon, you may feel this as well. Time to enter into a new space. Next card we have here is Leo. And to go along with this, we also have Pisces, where are you willing to do what you believe in, to do what the dream is, what the vision is for yourself, right? And we talked a lot about that with Neptune being in your fifth house, where this is a big time to be creative. This is a big time to use your ideas to create what you want to manifest in your life. And so what is it that you want? What is it that you're looking to create? What you're looking to build? What is the fantasy? What is the vision? What is the dream? What is the belief? And how can we take that and turn it into something that is tangible? Because remember that we have this North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius, where this is happening in your second and eighth house, which are the houses directly connected to manifestation. And so how are you going to manifest? This is your destiny at this time, to manifest the reality that you want. And for many of you, this is to go deeper. Next card we have here is Earth, right? Many of you are looking for more stability in your life. You're looking for a stronger life that has more stability, that has more consistency. And remember that a lot of you are attracting this energy of stability, as Taurus is your seventh house. And so you are generally looking for this stability, but at this time, it is a big time for you to build your own stability and not seek it out through others, especially as your seventh house is going through this radical change with Uranus in Taurus. And so there is a lot in terms of new relationships that are coming in. There's a lot in terms of new experiences that you can have, but big time to really formulate that stability within yourself. Next card we have here is the fourth house. Once again, this is a time for you to go deeper, to really go through this inward change and transformation within yourself, to find a deeper, more intimate bond with yourself. And for many of you, Aquarius is your fourth house. And so this is a big time for you to understand your uniqueness, who you are, and what you can bring into this world. And so there's a lot here in terms of, again, having this new experience, having these new ideas, and really using this to create something in your life. Next card here is Uranus in reverse. And so a lot of us are trying to, with Virgo here as well, trying to escape this new experience, right? We're trying to analyze, we're trying to figure out all the details, figure out the solution, but there is something big about this solar eclipse where you have to fully experience and fully go into this, right? And so there can be a lot of questioning, a lot of asking from others about this experience, if it is right for you, if it's not, looking for these answers, especially with Virgo being up in your 11th house, where you are used to being the one who supports and answers everyone's questions. And now in this space of seeking out answers, there is something big about how the answers are already within you. And so really going within once again and building that intimacy and connection with yourself is very strong here, Scorpio. Next card we have here is the Star. And so going along with what we just discussed here, this is about you. This is about you shining, being your own individuality, your own strength and confidence, showing up as who you are, using your innovative ideas and what you want to create and actually manifesting it, actually bringing it into reality. So know that you are, and for many of you with Scorpio rising, you probably already know this from others, that you are the star, with Leo being up in your 10th house. And so this is a big time for you to stand in your power and your strength and to know your individuality, to show up in it. Very interesting here as well. We saw these cards when I did the horoscope for Pisces as well, with the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, where there's this feeling here of trying to go back to something that has already ended. And so there is something big to say here about how, for those of you who have Scorpio rising, are you trying to go back to an old experience that is already done because the new experience is unfamiliar, right? And we talked a lot about that solar eclipse being up in your 9th house, where this is a shot in the dark. This is a risk to enter into a new experience that is better for you, that serves you better in your life. And so the question here is, are you trying to hold on to an old past experience? Are you trying to go backwards into a chapter that has already been closed, that is already finished, that is already complete? And so this is a time really to let go of what is already done in your life, what is already over, closing the door on the old chapters in your life in order to move forward into this new experience. And again, with the Knight of Cups in reverse, there's a lot coming up in terms of romance and relationships. And are you taking the offering and the experience that is coming up in your life? And so a lot of Scorpios here rejecting this new experience, to have an intimate connection, to go deeper, to have a new experience. And so be aware that this offering to connect deeper within yourself, but also to have this experience, is here. And this is an experience where if you are not going to accept this, then you will not have this. And very all or nothing, right? For those of you with Scorpio rising, is if you say yes, you are going all in. If you are saying no, then you're not going in at all, right? So this is a big moment of really allowing yourself to accept this offering. And this is really done here with the 5 of Cups by letting go of the past. Also 10 of Swords, very much connected to this as well, is this is very much a time to do this deep inner work on yourself, of letting go, of releasing, of allowing yourself to go through this change emotionally, right? There's a lot of emotional attachments to the past that are coming up here, a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, a lot of old connections. And so, really, it is a time to again face that eighth house energy that is your own energy by really going in and allowing yourself to feel and work through these experiences and really find yourself some peace of mind and closure so that you can move forward into this new experience. So, a lot of releasing, a lot of letting go, a lot of detachment that has to happen here. And very difficult here for those of you with Scorpio rising, as you are having this Taurus eighth house of fully attaching to any connections in your life. But very big that you are letting go, releasing these old experiences and attachments in your life that are no longer serving you. And so, as these past experiences, as these feelings are coming up, there's a lot here that needs to be addressed and worked through and released. And with the 10 of Swords here, many of you need this time for meditation, for inner work, to go within and to really look at what needs to be addressed in your life. And so, some quiet time, some meditation, some detachment from the busyness of your life is very much needed here for many of you. And remember that Libra is your 12th house, where we have Juno. And so really, this commitment right now is to yourself, to your internal world, with that Juno being in your 12th house. And really where you find this commitment and this connection that you were looking for is by going in internally and doing the subconscious work, removing the blocks within yourself. So very deep here for those of you with Scorpio rising. And last card here is the Knight of Swords. This is this energy of going in and taking on your challenges. This energy of going ahead and moving forward. And so once again, there's a lot of work here that needs to be done with your second and eighth house, and really moving you towards your eighth house of deeper connection, of these deeper internal feelings going on here in your eighth house. And so there is a lot here of charging ahead and moving ahead, entering into new challenges, new situations, especially with Mars being in your sixth house here on the 27th, that there's a lot of energy here to take on your challenges, to get work done, to move ahead, right? So for those of you who are looking to create new things in your life, those of you who are looking to take on challenges in your life, those of you who are looking for new experiences, you have this energy here of Mars being in your sixth house. So time to charge ahead, time to take on your challenges. This is a big moment here for those of you with Scorpio rising, where you are conquering yourself, because remember that Aries is ruling your sixth house. Aries being the sign of identity. So really, at the end of the day, for those of you with Scorpio rising, your challenge is yourself, right? You are going through this very intense life transformation on your journey of life. And so the challenge here is to overcome your own barriers and obstacles, and you have the energy to do this moving forward here in June. So that was your horoscope for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising for June 2020. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you like this, feel free to leave a comment as well as a like. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And I want to thank you all once again so much for joining. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.